Hello, I'm ReFabFashion. I'm a Boston-based reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I sell women's and men's clothing, accessories, shoes on all the platforms. I've been doing this part-time for about 3 years. And today I have a Thredup mystery box, the rescue boxes. I ordered a couple of Coach purse boxes back a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago now. I had, I think, a 20% off discount on their rescue boxes. I haven't done the Coach ones in a long time. In the first year of reselling, that's how I got a lot of inventory, learned a lot of brands, and I did try the Coach purses then. I made my money back and some profit. This time around, I wanted to try it again to see what the quality of the items is, but also I'm looking for a vintage Coach purse for myself. And in the past, I remembered getting one or two in the boxes. So my hope is that I'll have a couple vintage items to consider if I want to keep them, or those definitely resell very well. So I want to share with you what came in the boxes. I've opened them, but I haven't really looked through. So let's see what we got. Each item was about $19 with my discount and paying the shipping cost and fees. So $19 per item. Each box has 4 bags and then one what they call an accessory, which might be a wallet or a wristlet or something a lot smaller. So in this first box here, the first item on top is the accessory. And this is a black patent leather wallet. For $19, there's some marks on here. I might be able to get that off. This is leather, some pen marks, but there's not much wear to the outside, so that's very good. With the accessory piece being at $19, or in the past I think it was about $25 per item, I kind of make the money back, or it's one piece that doesn't make a profit but kind of balances out the others. This I should be able to sell, the full kind of wallet. I'll just clean it up a little bit. I do have a leather cleaner, like a shampoo type cleaner, so very gently, you don't over wet the leather, but you can clean it up. And then also for not this patent leather, but other items, I have a kind of conditioner that I put on it. This is a crossbody or shoulder bag. It's not quite patent, but it has almost like a vinyl feel to the leather. Here's the Coach symbol. It has the hang tag on it. This doesn't feel as nice as some of the other Coach bags. It does look clean on the inside, so that's good. I don't see any big marks or wear on the outside. There's a loose thread here from the stitching. I do try to make sure everything's authentic, which for the most part I trust that it is. This does not have like a code or anything. I'm going to take a look at this one a little bit more, because often in the Coach items there's at least a little fabric tag that says made in China or wherever it was made, and confirming that it's leather, and I don't see that inside here, and the quality doesn't feel as good as I'm used to with Coach. So I'm going to have to look at this one a little bit more. The hang tag does look authentic, the printing there. So I'll look a little bit more into this. I'm not too excited about this one for reselling. I don't think it's really in style right now. And the red, I guess, would be in style. It's kind of a burgundy red, but I'm less excited about that than the wallet. Next up, this is more typical of what the larger items, the bags, tend to be. These heftier bags and purses. This is kind of an off-white cream, which this already makes me nervous because there's probably some marks and staining, which I think from wear, you can see some dirt on these right here, these circles. It's almost like something hard underneath there. I don't think it's missing something on the outside, but let's see. No big blatant stains, but this could definitely use the leather cleaner. I'll probably give this an overall wipe. It has Coach imprinted on the front here, a pocket in the back, shoulder bag. This, I'll have to see let's see, this looks actually adjustable. Like you could make it this shorter strap, or you could make it a single strap possibly. I'll have to look into it. Yes, looks like you could make it a single strap and connect it over here on this side, so make it double. This is typical of Coach, the creed as they call it here. So the imprint, there's a style code set of numbers here, and F means factory, so this indeed has the F before the number. The Coach factory items can sell as well and for as much as the regular store. Factory is kind of the outlet, but depending on them, this usually I've had ones with a print that sell better, the factory items, but we'll see. Looking up the number, I just typed that into eBay. I put it in my listing, and that's how a lot of people are searching for items. So I'm not disappointed with this. A little cleanup, so a little more work than I was hoping for, but the interior seemed pretty clean. That's good. I'm less skilled at cleaning the interiors of purses than the outside leather. This is a brown suede kind of tote bag, chocolate brown, and has Coach imprinted there on the front. And let's see, the bottom looks pretty good. Not much wear to the corners. And the strap, it looks in pretty good shape too. Not much wear there. There is a hang tag on it, which is great. And let's see the interior. Yeah, the interior is looking pretty clean also, so I'm happy with this one. I like the suede. I like the chocolate brown. It's a tote bag. I don't think it's missing a longer strap, but it might be. There's these little fasteners here. I don't know if that's just for style or if that was meant for function. So it might be missing something. And again, we have the creed here with the style number. So again, this is a F code, so a factory item. This is in really great condition. The suede looks in really great condition. The leather cleaner would work on suede, although you have to be very careful with suede. So I wouldn't want to put cleaners and anything wet on here to have to clean it. So I'm glad this looks in pretty good shape. And yeah, a little wear to the corners, so I won't use cleaner there. I'll use the conditioner to try to bring that back a little bit. But I'm happy with this one. It's really hard to say the pricing until you look up the codes, but typically when I've had a bag that I'm happy with, so I paid $19, if I can get $40 to $50 for an average bag, some might surprise you and be commanding more. And also it depends on the color. So they likely made like this same style in different colors. So I'll have to see, you know, the particular color, how many are listed in that color, what's the condition, what's the sell-through. Oh, here's a vintage bag. So the Coach vintage bags are just plain leather. There's no branding. There's no hang tag. Well, there can be a hang tag on these. This has like a longer strap, adjustable strap, but it's usually this really great leather. Now these can be a little worn and scuffed over time. These were made, you know, there's some I think made in the 60s all the way up through the 90s, and then I think after the 2000s they are doing remakes and relaunches of these. So some will have the same number. It's a little there, I think. So it has the creed imprinted directly. It's not a patch. And then the code number there. And the code number does even tell you what month and what year it was produced. That doesn't always matter too much. That's the first three in here. The letter will tell you the month and the year. And it's not direct because, you know, the 90s, the 80s, so you have to really do some research there. But the last digits, the 4 or 5 digits, are the style of the bag. Now with this does look black. Sometimes you have to be careful because vintage Coach, they did make a very deep navy blue and also a very deep green color to the leather. So sometimes it's hard to distinguish. It looks like the pull, that's supposed to have something more than just that circle there. So It's a bit of wear. There is, I don't know if that's surface or a wear to the leather. It's a little bit bent, folded there, so I'll have to do some reshaping, and the bottom does look scuffed. But as I said, I'll probably take a leather cleaner, but definitely the conditioner is going to help with this bag. But no big scuffs or scrapes to the leather. That's awesome. And inside is a little dusty, dirty, but doesn't look like any gunk in there. Yeah, this also looks, it's hard to see. You got to get the light in there to look. So definitely some cleaning to do on the inside as well, but I don't see anything that's going to be really deterrent. I'll try to do a little vacuum to that and maybe take a wet paper towel or cloth and just get the dust out, but I'm happy with this. I don't know that this isn't quite what I was hoping for myself. So if I can sell this, I'd hope to get close to $100 for this after I clean it up. If I can't get some of these marks out and the scuffs, and if indeed the pull tab is missing, then that's going to bring it down from about 100. But I don't think this is a rare style. It's a larger bag. I am interested in the shoulder bags or crossbodies that have the flap over the front. That's kind of what I was hoping to get in one of these boxes. Not a bad bag, a little work. I'll probably end up listing and selling this one. So that's the first box. So if this can go conservatively, let's say $70 from 19 into 70, that's good. This, if I can get that 40 to 50 from the 19, that's good. The white, this one might be tricky depending on how much I can clean it up and get some of just this light kind of dirt scuffing off of it. But this one could be another 40 to 50. This one, I'm not really sure if it's authentic, so I'm gonna have to look at that, but this might be 0. And I think with the wallet, I could probably get 25 for this, or try to get 25, which means I'll make my money back on this. So as usual, like I said, I definitely get my money back on these boxes. Overall, I'm glad to see the vintage in here, because that's what I was hoping for. But in the past, I've gotten some with more of a print or the Canvas C logo with brighter colors, and I think those are a little more sought after sometimes. So we'll have to see, but not a bad box. I'm fine spending the. They're priced at $100 typically. Like I said, I had the discount, and then now they charge for shipping on Thredup. So not a bad box. All right, box number 2. This one is solid leather, very nice. I like this color. I like the cognac whiskey color bags in general. A braided strap, that's very cool. A lot of pockets here. Oh, but already I'm seeing some staining right in here, right in here. It almost looks like the color of the leather, like the dye of the leather has bled through, but it's only in one part, so that might just be a stain. Let's see. Yeah, there's definitely some work to try to do in here. I guess with this, thankfully, it's kind of like a satin fabric, but it does seem to be sewn into the corners, so that's going to be a little hard to reach in and clean thoroughly. I'm not sure what cleaner I'm going to use on this. I like the size of this and all of the compartments. Here's the Creed. The exterior looks pretty good. Some kind of scrapes typical with use, but I'm not seeing any big scratches or gouges. And then the front flap here, this area looks pretty clean in here, and this flaps down. It's a heavy bag. The hardware, I like that brass, kind of goldish brass color. So the exterior, again, I feel pretty confident in cleaning this up with my leather cleaner, although I don't know that it even needs that, just the conditioner. The inside is going to need a little more work. Before I work too hard in there, I'm going to definitely look up the style and just see if this is in high demand. I may not work too hard on the inside if I think I can sell it and get a profit. If there's a lot listed also and I'm not going to get much, then I might skip doing much with this or even listing it. Like I'd say if there's a lot on there and in this style on eBay and Poshmark and they're only selling for about 25 or 30, I'm not going to bother to put any work into this. And but it'll depend on the research, I suppose. If I can clean it to feel like it's clean, even with the stains, I might keep this for myself. If it feels too stained or not worth the time, because I do like this color, but we'll see. So not a bad first start. I wish it was cleaner on the inside. I'd feel more hopeful about that one. All right, next up, this looks a little more modern. It, again, has this brass hardware, a larger hang tag. Let's see, a strip of almost patent leather along the back here, just a detail. So far the leather looks in great shape. This does have a large pull tab here. Oh, and it's this kind of royal purple on the inside. Ooh, there. That's very interesting. So this is kind of a dark theme here. Here's the creed and that style code again. This is one place to check for fakes. If it's a fake, if you read all these little words here, it's always the same imprint. But what you'll notice is the spacing is off or there's misspellings. But you can pretty easily find in a Google search, you can find exactly what it's meant to look like if it's authentic. And it, you know, if you take your time and just read over this, it'll jump out if something's not right. This is another factory piece with the F code on there. Not bad. I'll have to see. As I said, this looks a little more modern, newer. I think the leathers also feels newer, like less worn, less carried around. There's a little bit of wear to the edges, to the corners, but I don't think I have to do much cleaning on this one. So I'll just be looking it up and seeing what the comps are and pricing this. I don't think this is particularly in style right now, the size with the lower shoulder strap like this, but you know, everybody's got different taste in bags. And also, you know, people who love their Coach bag, if it got really worn or the inside got ruined, somebody might be looking, and that's the great thing. You can look up by code and replace the bag that you love. So you never know who's looking. So not a bad bag. I'm not super excited about it with the style. But all right, wow, this is the biggest and heaviest. I'm glad to see the extra strap here. This is a tote bag style, silver hardware this time, and this purple color. Let's see, a couple of hang tags here, silver and a leather one. Again, this feels newer, very smooth leather. A lock on the front there for the flap. Front pocket looks good, very clean. And then there's multiple pockets on the inside. So the big main one looks clean, that's great. I like that light lavender lining, contrasting it. Here's the creed tag. This one does not have the F, so this was at the regular Coach store, not the factory. Oh. There's a mirror in here. It is broken. Crack there, so I probably won't sell it with unless that seems to add value, but oh, and tags. So this is definitely a newer piece, or somebody just took very good care of it. Care instructions, initial tag. Let's see if there's a price. Okay, great. I like this leg pin, large Harper something. There's like an abbreviation, but almost $600 for this bag. I love that the tag is still in there. I mean, it has been used. There's some wear to the handle here, but it's in very good shape. It feels so soft, and I don't see any damage or staining or crumbs or anything. There's a couple other pockets, a little bit of dust in that one. Oh, and a dust bag as well. So somebody definitely took care of this and probably didn't use it too much. So I'm very hopeful about this. I'm not going to call it new with tags. I'm not going to call it new without tags, but I will definitely add those tags to my photos and the dust bag and everything included. So I'll have to see. I'm not sure how interested people are in this color, this kind of bluish purple color. So I think that's going to make it a little bit harder to sell this one, but it's definitely the heaviest, the largest, and it's $600 new. If this is a newer style in the last couple of years, this could end up being a pretty good flip. All right, so that's the third one from this box. One more bag and one accessory. I'm not sure which is which. These are both on the small side. I guess this one is another bag. So kind of similar to that other smaller crossbody shoulder bag. This one I'm not too excited about. I don't think it's really in style. It's the sea green color. There is a hang tag with it. This looks older. And there's this discoloration here. So this is not anything I can clean out. It's kind of yellow, yellowish color. The strap also is yellowed, the bottom. Let's see. Inside, it's all right. There's some staining in there. So yeah, with this fading here, I probably won't bother listing this. With these smaller bags, as I said, there's no code or creed. This is what I was looking for in that red one that the red one didn't have in the first box. A little tag in here that just says where it's made. It says made in China, which is typical. So this feels authentic. The leather, like the softness of the leather and everything about it. But I think that fading, I don't know who would want to buy this with that fading. You'd have to get it re-dyed or live with it, but that's pretty significant fading. So this one I probably won't bother listing. I will still try to Google Lens and look it up, but probably no listing and the loss of the $19 on that. All right, the last item, this is the other accessory piece. This also looks very worn. The threads are coming out of the strap here. This is a wristlet. Let's see. Wristlet wallet, black leather. Feels like a nice soft leather. This feels a little older. There's just slots for cards and money. And then a front pocket here. Just a big pocket. You could probably fit a cell phone in there. And then a front smaller pocket. So yeah, the threads are coming out in a few places. If I cut that, I don't think it will continue to run, but the leather is kind of split there. So it's definitely well used. There's no big scratches or wear on the leather exterior. The interior, oh, no, there is some staining in here. This looks like an ink stain or something. So I'll have to see. This one, I have a feeling I will not be listing, given that something like this would be about $25 anyway. And it's in a little bit of rough shape. And I don't think I can clean this stain on the inside. This looks like an ink stain or a discoloration. I don't know. I'll like the green one, I'll look it up. You know, on the one hand, I suppose listing it, even if I don't make a profit, at least I'm getting money back, or I'm not having to put that sunk cost into the other profit of the items. In terms of if I don't want to list it, you know, some consignment stores like Plato's or others might take these, and they're not going to give me much, but again, I don't have to put the work in, and I'm getting some money back, so I may consider that. I don't think a consignment place would take it in this condition though, with the staining. So for this second box, I have two that I think I may not even list. So that's 19 a piece to lost. This one I think is going to be the best one of the bunch in this box. This purple, although that might be a harder sell with the purple, but it's in like new condition, has those tags inside. Might be a more recent piece, not a factory piece. This one, not bad shape, but the style might not be strong. And this one, I've got to decide if I'm going to put any work into cleaning that. So out of the two boxes, I only got one vintage Coach piece. which I don't think I'm going to keep for myself. These others, you know, most of the bags I have some work to do with some leather cleaning, but what I like to do is just save up. I have some other bags I haven't listed that I've thrifted, so I kind of save them, and then on one day I get my cleaning supplies out, I set down, you know, paper to cover the table, and I, you know, get my plastic gloves and I work away on everything to clean it up. So with these and with what else I have to get prepared, I'll do that, and then I'll do a whole batch of photos and listings of all my bags at the same time. So, you know, I like to batch my work so that it's not extra starting and stopping, getting all the supplies out and cleaning up. So I'll probably plan a day in the near future to do my cleanup, let things dry, do my research and see what's worth listing. Authenticate this one red one here, which the more it's almost a little sticky, that coating. I don't know if this is even real. Anyway, some work to do, but overall I should make a profit even if I don't list some, and that's $19 per bag that I'm just not going to get back. But I really got to think about my time. One thing I've learned over the years is to not get too caught up in any one piece, but just keep moving forward, keep listing, keep thrifting. That's how you make more profit, and it offsets the missteps or the pieces that didn't shine. So I try to not worry too much about it, get too caught up in it, just keep moving forward. But I'm happy to have some bags to list. Bags are nice, you know, it's really a larger audience shopping for bags than a particular clothing item, style in that size. You know, you're restricted by the size. So bags are a nice piece to have. I don't carry too much in my store, a little bit because of the work involved, but I'm glad to have done this. I would not buy the Coach Thredup rescue bag boxes at full price. For me, I think they do charge tax to me. I'm in, as I said, Massachusetts, Boston. So I think purses and bags, we do have state tax on that. Clothing, we do not. So I think Thredup does charge me tax, and then the $10 shipping that they now have. So I would only buy that if they run a discount or something. I really love the men's Thredup rescue boxes. They haven't had that for a long time. I almost have the feeling that maybe they are getting ready to launch a men's section on Thredup. Right now it's women and children only items, but I have a feeling they might be preparing for that because I haven't seen a rescue box in a long time. But I'd say if you're new to reselling, this could be fun to try. You get to look up and learn about the Coach brand and bags, and you do come across them a fair amount in the thrift store, so it's good to know what to look for to authenticate and get familiar with it, and to give a try at doing the leather cleaning. So if you can get it for $18, $19 per item, know that you're going to make your money back and do some learning along the way. It might be worth it to you to do that. So I'll report back in my what solds over, you know, once I get these listed, what's selling, what I found, the price point. So hopefully you'll come back to stay tuned for that. But thank you for joining me. I hope it was helpful, kind of a look at the Thredup rescue boxes recently. They've changed over the years. So I hope that that's helpful to you in making some decisions, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.